Hello, everyone. It's Tabby Biddle of tabbybiddle.com, Wise Women's Leadership Coach, helping wise women change makers amplify their voice in the world. And today I want to talk to you about an inquiry that a wonderful journalist from India sent to me. Her name is Stella Paul. And when I announced I was going to be doing this 30-day Vamp Up Your Visibility video challenge, I put in a request to some of my friends as to what they wanted to hear and see in these videos and what they felt would be enriching. And I'm going to read what Stella wrote to me. She said, I'd like to hear you speak of Bodhi. That is, how, as a mother, you would like to see your little boy grow up as a believer in gender equality. How would you suggest moms go about instilling those values early on? I don't get to hear that sort of thing often, you know. Okay, so here we go. This is for Stella. This is for all of you listening, but I will dedicate this to Stella. First off, I think I should define gender equality for me, what that means for me. And for me, that means woman and girl in her full capacity, in her full potential, respected, valued for who she is as woman or girl, just for showing up in this world, right? Just for showing up in this world, okay? And so where the equality part comes in is, I think in society, as many of you would probably agree with, the masculine and the kind of male orientation of our world culture gives respect and value and authority to the male, to the man or the boy. And for women and girls, we've really had to kind of work our way to even get recognized, or it's more than recognized, actually be seen as contributing something of worth and of value. And so for me, gender equality means that we see both women and men as equal in value, Men and women are different, right? We each bring different things to the table. So it's really about human rights, that we as human beings are seen as valuable from the start. Okay, so that's my definition of gender equality, that women and men together are seen as valuable human beings, deserving of respect. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so how I am raising Bodhi in that definition, I thought about this a little bit, and I'd like to put forth, there are 4 different factors I think that are really valuable to this. And again, thank you, Stella, for asking this, because I hadn't really thought about this, what I was doing. So here we are. The first and most important, I think, is me, the mother of Bodhi, woman, girl, once upon a time a girl. How do I treat myself? How do I value myself? How do I talk to myself? How do I show up for myself? What do I do in my daily life? Bodhi sees that. This is the primary relationship he has with woman, his mother. And I believe that has probably the most influence on how he sees and values women and girls as he grows up, is how his mother treated herself, right? How did I see myself? How did I view myself? So as I work in the work that I do, women's empowerment, women's feminine spirituality awakening, and empowering women's voices, I hope that Bodhi sees that that I treat myself with the utmost respect. I consider this work the most valuable thing on earth, really, is bringing back the value and respect and remembering of woman and who she really is. Okay, so that's first factor, mama. Second factor, papa, right? Dada, daddy, my husband. I believe that the way my husband treats me, sees me, listens to me, hears me, values me, that has a huge impact on Bodhi, right? So how does man, so we're like these archetypal representations for Bodhi, right? Me, woman, my husband, man. How does man treat woman? How does he see her? How does he value her? How does he interact with her? So that is the second factor. And thankfully, I have an amazing husband who so values me, so listens to me, hears me, respects me, has so much patience and compassion and a real honest to goodness belief in the work that I'm doing, amplifying women's voices and really helping women remember the goddess, helping myself remember and connect with her. So this is a huge factor. And so Bodhi gets to see this. He sees the value that my husband puts forth toward me and how he listens to me and respects me. Okay, so there we go. First factor, second factor. Third factor, I believe, is spirituality. And of course, that's interwoven with factors number 1 and 2, but I'm going to put it as its own factor. So as many of us have grown up in a very male-oriented culture with male-oriented religion, I should say, this obviously has a factor on how women and girls are seen. We're seen really as the second class, the underclass. We've definitely been violated, oppressed, silenced, all of the horrible human rights abuses that we all know of that have happened over the last few thousand years to women and girls. And so my spirituality is all based on the goddess. It's all based on the feminine. It is about honoring and valuing the woman, the creatrix. It's about rediscovering and reiterating or bringing out from the kind of dusty shelves the history of the goddess, so that we as a society and as a world culture have the history of the goddess in our present conversation, that this is part of our cultural conversation and cultural understanding. And so because this is so much a part of my work, Bodhi sees this, right? He sees my morning practices. He sees me he not only sees me, hears me, and is involved in my morning chanting. I do divine feminine chanting. I'm chanting Ma all the time. He joins me. I am talking to the goddess. I'm dancing to the goddess. I'm picking my goddess cards. He picks cards. It's just around him. My statues of different goddesses I have, of Lakshmi, of Saraswati, of Tara. This is all part of our environment, right? It's our spirituality and environment. I guess I'm linking that all in factor 3. Okay, so I'll just let that land there. So he's basically growing up with that orientation of a real respect and understanding and acknowledgement of the divine feminine. That's huge in itself. Okay, third factor, I believe, is, well, I'll say that's environmental. That's environmental. And by that, I mean the actions that he sees around him. For example, it's not that mom does all the housework and dad goes out and does all the outside of housework. Dad is doing dishes, making dinner. He actually is the fellow who does make the dinner in the house. I don't make dinner. He does. My husband does. He sees him vacuuming, cleaning, sharing house responsibilities, let's just say. Picking him up, picking Bodhi up, changing his diaper, giving him a bath. All the interactions are shared. I mean, yes, we each have our own routines and one may do a little more than the other in certain areas, but that's really by our choice. And so this fourth factor, environmental and like parents' actions, that I think that's a really important factor. Like, just what does he see mom and dad, male and female, doing on a daily basis, right? Is it equal? Or is it just what do they do? I guess the whole word equal, I guess, sends me a little bit like it's a little too tight of a word. So I'm gonna move on from there because I don't want to get caught up in that. So okay, the four factors: mom, primary factor. How do I treat myself? Talk to myself. Value myself. Number two factor: dad, right? Male archetype. How does he treat himself? How does he see himself? But more importantly, when we're talking about gender equality, how does he treat mom? How does he listen to mom? How does he see mom? How does he value mom? Number three factor is spirituality. What is Bodhi growing up around? It's like, is he growing up in a male-oriented spirituality or feminine-oriented spirituality? And maybe eventually, who knows what he'll embrace for himself. But for right now, it's very much a feminine-based spirituality in this household. And number four is the environmental factor. What are mom and dad doing on a daily basis around the house or in the activities that we do outside of the house? Okay, so Bodhi is a nap right now. I thought about bringing him into this video, but I thought I'd be able to concentrate a little bit better with him napping. So you'll see him in an upcoming video, I am sure. He's definitely in a bunch of these videos during this 30-day challenge. I want to thank you again, Stella, for bringing this inquiry forth, and thank you all so much for listening today. I hope that what I've shared serves you in your life in some way. Okay, come visit me at tabbybiddle.com and sign up for my newsletter called The Goddess Diaries, where I share tips and advice and guidance and bring up important conversations like the one we've had today on gender issues and women's empowerment. Okay, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.